Alright. Oh shit. Let me get my setup right, man. Contender regime boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Surprise live is going down, man. You know what I mean? We got some shit to talk about. Y'all see the top, y'all see the name of the title. You know what I'm saying? We definitely got some things to discuss. Salute to my brother, Skinny 2 Litty Reacts in the building. What's good? I'm trying to get my setup right. This shit kind of leaning on me a little bit. But it's all good. Shout out to my brother Punch Perfect Boxing in the building. What's good? My brother Kano Loco Sports in the building, man. What's happening? Good to see y'all in here. Jay Einstein in the building. What's good? Steven Panfield in the building. What's up? Yeah, man, I'm sipping on that. I ain't got no Merlot today. It's Thursday. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sipping on that Oscar Valdez. You feel me? I done pulled me a four of that Oscar Valdez. Tez Frank in the building. What's good? Reginald Mackey in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Shout out to my brother Justin Coleman in the building. What's good? He said, Boost not ready for EJ right now. Oh, yeah, we gonna talk about it, man. Y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate it. Kevin Brower in the building. What's going on? Exclusive Meds 2021. What's up? Salute. Oh, yeah, that Oscar Valdez hidden. You know what I'm saying? You got to get you a little herbal tea in every now and then. You know, I got me a little Oscar Valdez pulled up. You know, it's starting to get a little chilly out here. Even down here in the South, man, Dallas, Texas. Cash Man in the building, what's up? What's good? Real Talk 90 in the building, salute. R. West in the building. Live from the STL. Hey, shout out to St. Louis, man. My brother Justin Coleman from St. Louis, man. Shout out to the STL for sure. Damian West in the building, what's good? Maurice Bridges, what's poppin'? Salute. Say you about Tez Frank say you about to fail a drug test. Hey, Kinda Loco Sports said it's chilly in Florida too. Damn, bro, I never think it'd get chilly in Florida. I ain't never been out there like in the fall and winter time. I only been out there like summertime and springtime. Boy, it be hot as fuck. I be like, shit, it's hot as hell in Texas, but bro, Miami, summertime, bro, that shit ridiculous. Boy, that heat'll burn the skin off your back. I can't believe it get chilly out there. Said it's 65, that's cold for me. I ain't even think it'd get 65 down there. Yeah, I got that secret tea. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, salute to everybody coming through. You feel me? I'm gonna let a few more people get in here before we really start cooking. Man, how y'all week been going? You know what I'm saying? How everybody week going, man? I hope y'all having a productive week, positive. You know, hope is nothing but blessings and love and prosperity and just good things happening in y'all life, man. Eric Bowden in the building, salute. Pool Counter Boxing, what's good? Say, what's in the cup? Oh, this that Oscar Valdez, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but a little herbal tea. You feel me? Got me a little Oscar Valdez. You feel me? But yeah, man, as y'all can see, man, we definitely finna cook. And I wanted to get on here and go live today because I got a couple of things going on tomorrow. I'm not sure if I am gonna be able to do the show tomorrow. I still might be able to push the show out, you know what I'm saying, and get it popping. But we gonna cook tonight though, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. We gonna cook either way. Said, nah, South Texas hotter than Miami. I've been to Miami in July and August, and I live in Corpus. It's hot down here. Oh yeah, down there like South Texas, it's real muggy and humid. You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is, I think like for certain people, cause you know I'm from Dallas, so North Texas we got like more of a dry heat, and in Miami it's like a real dry heat. But that shit just seemed hotter. I don't know. Maybe because I was out there, you know what I'm saying, and I wasn't even really, that shit just caught me by storm, you feel me? That shit caught me by surprise, because I'm used to the heat. You know, it get hot out here in Dallas in the DFW, but goddamn, I'm like, nah, that shit was different. It's like the sun, it's like the devil was piggybacking off my neck. That nigga was riding on my back or something. I'm like, god damn. Big 3, Spence, Bud, and Boots. Big facts. Hey, shout out to my brother Vigilante Kato in the building. What's good, man? What's good? Say you walk outside and start sweating. I'm from Chicago. They both hot to me. Yeah, I ain't never been to Chicago, man, but I heard it get hella cold up there. For sure. Boys don't even want to come outside. But yeah, man, hey, so let's go ahead and start cooking, man. Let me take a little sip of that Oscar Valdez real quick, and we gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? But, so, man, first and foremost, I just want to say, I just want to continue to, you know, salute to the brother Ennis for doing what he doing, looking phenomenal, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And being just the wrecking ball that he's supposed to be. Very skilled field, J508 in the building, man. Very skilled. Jaron Ennis could very well be the most complete fighter in boxing today. The only reason why I'm saying maybe and may very well be is because we haven't seen it on the elite level yet. But as far as the eye test and the film, again, I tell y'all time after time, man, if you got an eye for this shit, if you got a niche for knowing what you looking at in that ring, bro, you don't got to see a fighter versus a certain fighter to know that they got the tools and the goods. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, he definitely got everything, man. And I told y'all time after time also that the downside to being Jaron Ennis, man, when you this good, it's going to be hard for you to get the fights that you want initially. And when I said that, I wasn't talking about ERROL Spence. I wasn't talking about Terence Crawford, even though those same reasons why he not getting the fights versus the, you know, the Sean Porters, or I don't even know if I can put Sean Porter in that category, because Sean Porter, he at the top, he already fought everybody. I don't even know if I would throw him in there, but I mean the guys that are vying for an opportunity to get to where ERROL Spence is at, to get to where Terence Crawford is at. Those are the guys that he's struggling to get fights with. I'm not talking about ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford. You dig what I'm saying? But it's still the same things apply to those matchups as well, because he's very high risk, and right now he's not a very high reward. You know, so that's the downside to being this good. That's the downside to being as skilled and as far along as Jaron Ennis is this early in his career, right? So right now I'm just laying the foundation, just kind of painting a perspective, you know, so we can take this shit to where we want to take it to. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Jaron Ennis, man, for him to get the fights that he's asking for, as far as ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford-Ugas, the only way that's going to happen, he going to have to become mandatory. He ain't got no choice, because number one, ERROL Spence is a unified champion. He's on a crusade to become undisputed. He's right now, he and Ugas are right now at odds with the WBA, trying to force them to allow them to fight each other for an undisputed fight. That's crazy when you got two guys, two champions who are, you know, they're champion and they want to fight each other, and the sanctioning body don't want the fucking shit to happen. Ain't that crazy? Like, look where we at in boxing, where you got two champions that want to unify, but the sanctioning body trying to block it. And then you have Terence Crawford, who is just now getting to the level of us seeing what he's going to look like on this top level with Sean Porter. He has a fight coming up on November 20th. Title defense versus Sean Porter, who's been in the ring with everybody. This is kind of like a litmus test for Terence Crawford, kind of like a show and tell type of situation for him to really let us know, is you that dog and that bad man, that boogeyman that everybody painted you to be? So this is opportunity for Terence Crawford to show everything that he got and just you know, kind of give us a receipt and let us know that, hey, everything I told y'all that I was is real. Everything that you saw on film from the eye test is real. It's been real the whole time. You feel me? So these guys are in a certain position in their careers right now. I don't expect ERROL Spence to fight Jaron Ennis right now. I don't expect him to be calling Jaron Ennis out. I don't expect Terence Crawford to be calling out Jaron Boots Ennis right now. Because again, these guys have been in the game, have fought on pay-per-view, they're champions, and they're trying to get in a position to unify the belts and fight each other and become undisputed. Now, let me get my brother real quick. Salute to the brother Maurice Bridges in a super chat coming through and showing love. He said, put him in with Thurman after Thurman get a tune up, and unless Thurman gonna fight somebody. Hey, big facts. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, I would love to see him in there with Keith Thurman. And I'm gonna touch on the whole Keith Thurman, ERROL Spence thing too, because a lot of people trying to make that comparison when this shit is totally different. And I'm gonna touch on that. But I agree with you, brother. Keith Thurman ain't fighting nobody. He's not in the conversation or in position to unify or shout out to the brother Eclectic Agitator in the building. Crimson Tide Elite in the building. Salute. You know what I'm saying? You know, Keith Thurman is not in a position to fight for no title. Thank you. Salute to the Queen Neek J in the building. I appreciate you for coming through. It's apples and oranges. And I'm going to talk about that for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Keith Thurman not in a position right now looking to fight for no championship title. So I would love to see him and Boots get in there. You know what I mean? And I know, like I told y'all, Keith Thurman, he know who Boots is now. I know he knew who he was when he said he didn't recognize or know who Boots was. He was lying, but I know now he know who the fuck Boots Ennis is. So I wouldn't mind seeing Keith Thurman getting in there and seeing what, you know, what he'll look like, what Boots will look like versus that caliber of fighter, and what Keith Thurman can do versus somebody like Boots. But do I expect Keith Thurman to fight him right now? To be honest with you, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't mind the fight. Just like I wouldn't mind Boots Ennis fighting either ERROL or Terence Crawford. But let me make this distinction. Now, when you say Boots Ennis is ready for the best right now, I agree 100%. I think Virgil Ortiz is ready. I think Jaron Ennis is ready. I think these guys, if the opportunity came along for him to fight Terence Crawford or ERROL Spence, either one of them, or Sean Porter or Ugas or Keith Thurman, put him in the ring immediately if that opportunity comes to him. Salute to the brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV, fans perspective in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? If the opportunity came along where they became the mandatory, you know what I'm saying? They worked their way to the #1 contender spot, and then the fight was mandated. See, Virgil Ortiz is #1 contender for the WBC and the WBO, but ain't no fight been mandated yet. The WBO actually mandated Sean Porter, who was the #1 contender before Ortiz, as the mandatory for Terence Crawford, right? So that fight is happening. Until that happens, I don't expect Spence or Crawford or Ugas to fight either of these guys. Now, you can't say they ducking. That's another thing that we can't do. You can't say that ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford is ducking Jaron Ennis. What you can say is that Ennis is ready. But you can't say because they're putting themselves in position to unify titles and become undisputed, you can't say they ducking. See, that's when you start getting that sideways talk. And let me tell you how that shit different from Keith Thurman. Let me go ahead and let me get my brother, man. Salute to the brother Damian Webster in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said Keith is a PBC commentator. He knows. Big facts. You know Keith Thurman know. And I wouldn't be surprised if Keith Thurman done called the Boots fight before. Salute to the brother R. West in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, what credit would Spence get for beating Boots? Same amount Charlo gets for beating Lubin? None. I agree. Put Keith in there after a tune-up. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? People still don't give Jermell Charlo credit for what he did to Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin had the same type of hype. Now, it's probably not on the same, the hype probably not quite the same as Boots is getting right now, because Boots is just He's showing so many different things so early in his career. But Lubin was a highly touted prospect coming up. And everybody was like, damn, you know, this kid, you know, southpaw, got power in both hands, jack and sledge. This motherfucker can fight. You know what I'm saying? He got the look. He got the everything that he flashy, you know, fan friendly. He got everything that you want to see. And a lot of people said, man, it was too early to put him in there with Jermell Charlo. But then there was a lot of people was like, no, man, put him in there right now. He ready. You know, he get in there and get flatlined by Jermell Charlo. And that's cool. That's not to say take anything away from Lubin or anything like that. You know, he stepped up and, you know, he got beat. That happens. That don't mean he really wasn't ready. It could mean that, but he got beat. He got in there. I'm not a person that's saying that he shouldn't have fought Jermell Charlo. I think he fought him and he was supposed to fight him. That's what it was. And if Ennis was to get a Spence or a Crawford fight right now, great. But what I'm saying is that, salute to my brother, the soulmates. People not even giving Jermell Charlo, when they look back on Jermell Charlo resume, Erickson Lubin can go on and do amazing things. They still not even giving that brother credit for what he did. You know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point. You know, what I'm saying is that you can't say that ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford are ducking Jaron Ennis. Let's not get it fucked up. I'm an advocate of the best fighting the best right now. I'm an advocate of not holding these young motherfuckers' hands, you know, letting them run around the sandbox and shit unscathed and all that. No, fuck that. Put them in the ring right now with the big dogs. If they say they ready, put their ass in there. But I want to see these guys prove and show that they belong on that level. If they want to jump ahead of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And let me tell you why I was different with Keith Thurman. Salute to the brother D'Avian Bible. Let me tell you why I was different with Keith Thurman and ERROL Spence. Number one, Keith Thurman wasn't no champion. Let me take a sip of that Oscar Valdez on that. Number one, Keith Thurman wasn't no champion. When Floyd Mayweather said, I'm going to relinquish my titles and I'm going to put these titles up specifically for y'all two to get an opportunity to fight, Keith Thurman was hoping and wishing to get an opportunity for a title shot. ERROL Spence, relatively young in his career, was like 16, 17 and 0. You know, hadn't really done much. Keith Thurman had some decent wins under his belt. You know what I'm saying? But neither one of them was champion at that time. Floyd Mayweather said, look, I'm going to relinquish my titles and y'all two can fight. I think this is a great fight. That's where the fight came about. That's where the whole thought of a ERROL Spence versus Keith Thurman fight even was created. Floyd Mayweather said, he had both of them right there. He said, look, I'm going to relinquish my titles. This at the end of Floyd Mayweather's career, he said, I'm going to relinquish my titles and y'all two can fight for him. Keith Thurman, well, he didn't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? But Keith Thurman, he also had a path to, you know, he was a regular champion with the WBA. He wasn't the actual like full-time champion because that was Floyd. So once Floyd relinquished his titles, Keith Thurman stepped into a role where he was able to fight and become the full-time champion. But he had an opportunity to fight ERROL Spence when they both was really trying to stamp they name in a division. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman hadn't fought on pay-per-view. Keith Thurman wasn't no box office star. He didn't have no huge fan base. We talking about ERROL Spence, who is fought on pay-per-view 3 times successfully already. And when he come back again, it's gonna be pay-per-view. We talking about Terence Crawford, a guy who's been undisputed. He's a 3-division champion. He's been undisputed at 140, and he's currently a champion at 147. And he's about to fight Sean Porter on pay-per-view. I love Jaron Ennis, but Jaron Ennis just fought on the undercard of Jamal James. It was the co-main event. Look, man, don't turn this into that, because this ain't that. I love all these brothers, but I'm just speaking some real for y'all so y'all can understand what the fuck going on. Jaron Ennis just fought on the undercard of Jamal James. So you can't say a pay-per-view star Pound for pound, I have Errol Spence top 3 pound for pound, Terence Crawford the same. You can't say that these guys are ducking Jaron Ennis. If you want to say Jaron Ennis is ready, I agree. I think Virgil Ortiz is ready. But to say that Spence and Crawford is ducking, that's ass backwards. It don't make no sense. Keith Thurman wasn't in the position that Errol Spence and Crawford is in right now. Keith Thurman wasn't no damn champion. He wasn't undisputed. He wasn't unified. He wasn't on that level. So it was only right for motherfuckers to say, okay, I want to see Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. And then when Errol Spence did get a title, Keith Thurman still didn't want no smoke. So that's why it's different. You can't say Errol Spence doing the same thing to Jaron Ennis that Keith Thurman did to Errol Spence. No, he not. It's totally different. Errol Spence in a whole nother bracket. Salute to my brother Richard Dean in the building. Errol Spence in a whole nother bracket. It's not comparable. Like the sister Neek J said, man, it's apples and oranges. You feel me? But let's not get it fucked up. I want to see these fights. I want to see Errol versus Boots. I want to see Crawford versus Boots. But you know what else I want to see? I want to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. And you know what else I want to see? Salute to my brother Mark Jaramillo. I want to see Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. Talk to me now. I got a question for y'all. Because the shit I just told y'all, the shit I just said, it don't get no more realer than that. You feel me? But it still be some people out there that don't understand how this shit go. You know what I'm saying? But I got to ask y'all something. Now, I put a poll out there and I asked, do y'all want to see Jaron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz right now or not? Right? Now, about 89%, 90% of y'all said yes. The same motherfuckers, you know, the people that, you know what I'm saying? The people that didn't ride on the slow bus. Salute to my brother Money Brown TV in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother, man. So about 90% of y'all said, yes, you want to see the fight right now. But it was about, 10 or 11% of y'all that was like, no. And I'm like, why? Why don't you want to see Jaron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz? Why? If you tell me, think about what y'all are saying. This is what I want to understand. Think about this. If you saying that Jaron Ennis is ready for Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, why the fuck? And you saying Virgil Ortiz is ready for Spence and Crawford? Well, why the fuck they not fighting? Neither one of them is mandatory for shit. Neither one of them mandatory. Now, until they become, let's say both of them got mandated next week. Now we got a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But if it ain't no mandatory stipulation on Errol, if I'm Errol Spence and I'm three fights deep on pay-per-view, successful. You know what I'm saying? Did the highest numbers in the pandemic as far as live attendance. I'm putting asses in seats in Cowboy Stadium. I got a legitimate fan base, and I'm really a motherfucking star. When you think about this shit, like if you being truthful, I'm really a star. If I'm Errol Spence and I don't have no stipulation or obligation to fight Jaron Ennis, why the fuck would I fight Jaron Ennis right now and I can fight Ugas for unification? Or I can try to fight the winner out of Terence Crawford and Sean Porter for unification. Why the fuck would I call out Jaron Ennis? It don't make sense. If I'm Terence Crawford and I'm fighting Sean Porter, defending my title, and I'm hoping to fight Errol Spence for a unification, why the fuck would I be calling out Jaron Ennis? You got to think about this shit. You can't call these dudes ducks. It don't make no sense. You can show love and respect all these guys, but still keep the shit intelligent. Still think objectively and be realistic about it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of ERROL Spence. I'm a huge fan of Terence Crawford. I'm a huge fan of Jaron Ennis. I support all them brothers on this channel. And I keep it real 100% of the time. But, you know, you can do that without shitting on one or the other trying to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You got to be real with yourself. Salute to the brother Phil J508 in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said Boost versus Ben. Oh, that's fire. I would love to see that. That's what I'm talking about. How we gonna let all these prospects run around this motherfucker undefeated and shit, ain't doing nothing? You know what I'm saying? You know, Virgil Ortiz, you know, shout out to Virgil Ortiz. He doing his thing. You know, he getting good fights. I love the matchup with him and Mean Machine. Maurice Hooker. You know what I'm saying? Been in there with Herrera and Heroes Co. Yeah, shout out to Virgil Ortiz. He getting fights. He getting fights that Boots can't get. Y'all need to be on these other motherfuckers' ass who really... Who's really in that circle and on that same level who's supposed to be fighting Boots. Jamal James. You know, motherfucking Boutayev. You know what I'm saying? Conor Ben. Who the fuck Conor Ben fight? Conor Ben y'all need to be calling for Conor Ben to fight Boots. You think Virgil Ortiz or Conor Ben or any of these motherfuckers gonna get a chance to fight ERROL Spence and y'all ain't fought Boots yet? Like, think about what y'all saying, bruh. This shit gotta make sense. Let me give my brother salute to my brother Jay Harris 2 Real in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I think Ennis ready, but EJ and Bud are trying to be undisputed. He's a unified champion. It makes no sense for him to fight right now. How about Boots and Ortiz fight instead? Salute, bro. Big facts. Big facts. That's all I'm saying. Big facts. I think Ennis ready for anybody right now. But you a damn fool if you think I'm finna say ERROL Spence ducking because he trying to be undisputed around this bitch. You a damn fool if you think ERROL Spence. Man, look at that picture I got on the thumbnail. Do that motherfucker look like he running from anybody? Man, look at Terence Crawford. Do he look like he running from anybody? Fuck no. Come on now. Y'all got to keep this shit 100, bro. I love Boost, but I ain't finna let y'all just flip this shit around like motherfuckers ducking or something. Like, be real. Y'all trying to protect Virgil Ortiz or something? You can't accuse me of protecting Crawford and Spence because these motherfuckers done already been through the fight. And shit, I want to see Spence and Crawford fight. So ain't no protection going on. But at the same time, it's like, you got to be realistic about this shit. Now, if you one of them motherfuckers that's saying, no, I don't want to see the fight, I got a problem with that. Because I want to see the fights. I want to see Ennis versus Spence. I want to see Ennis versus Bud. I want to see these fights. But I'm not finna say motherfuckers ducking because they trying to be undisputed and shit. I ain't finna do that. That's crazy talk. Salute to the brother Diavian Bible in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said boxing would be in a better position if we had more trilogies. Imagine if the fight between Boots and Virgil. I want to see that again. Big facts. Man, let me take a sip of that Oscar Valdez on behalf of that, bro. Boy, you speaking the truth. We need more shit like that. We need trilogies and shit like that, man. Salute to the brother Maurice Bridges in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said that's only true if it's he said that's only true is if Bud somehow get a title, then Spence changed his tune about wanting to be undisputed, then you can say he ducking Boots. Facts. That's facts, bruh. If Boots got a title and then, you know, Spence is still at 147 talking about I want to be undisputed, but he ain't trying to fight Boots, now we can start the duck talk. Now we can bring the duck talk out. You know what I'm saying? If Boots became Spence mandatory and Spence vacated his title like Lomachenko did with Devin Haney, now we can bring out the duck talk. But until then, bro, it's straight bullshit. It's fanboyism, really. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's motherfuckers that been the whole time they really wasn't fucking with ERROL Spence, or they really wasn't fucking with Terence Crawford, and they just looking for a reason to try to, you know, they looking for some new hope. They looking for somebody to pit against them, you know what I'm saying, to make it look like they scared, or they, you know, they not who they say they is, bruh. Whole time, you know what I'm saying? But until we get to that point, you can't do that and make it make sense. There's no way that you can make me think that Spence or Crawford is ducking Jaron Ennis. It just don't make no sense. Or Virgil Ortiz. Bro, look, all right, look, this is what I'm trying to understand. Hold on, man. Let me make sure I get all my brothers in here. Salute to the brother Damon Webster in the super chat. I'm tripping, man. I couldn't even see that shit. Damon Webster back in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, we got to slow down on Boost. The kid ain't even do a main event yet. All the champions should unify first for legacy. Big facts. Salute to the brother Phil J508 back in that super chat coming through and showing love again. He said Earl should tell Keith go beat Boots and then I'll give you a title shot. Hey, that's some real shit. That's some boss shit. Hey, if EJ did that, that's some boss shit. Go hey, on the real. Go beat Boots, I'll give you a title shot then. That's some boss shit. On me, he should do that. You know what I'm saying? That way you get to kill two birds with one stone. You see what Boots really about, and you might get a chance to fight Keith Thurman because it really makes sense then. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's some real boss shit. Salute to the GOAT in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said Boots versus Thurman will be perfect. Where Keith at? I don't know where the hell Keith at, man. I don't know where the hell Keith at. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to my brother Jay Harris Too Real, man. Telling y'all to hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? But look, this is what I don't understand, though. This is what I don't understand. If I'm Jaron Ennis, bro, like 100, I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, bro. If I'm Jaron Ennis or Virgil Ortiz, bro, I don't want him to get no shot before me. I don't want him to get no shot before me. Connor Ben, what's that dude named Blair? I forget his last name. All these youngsters, Stanionis. I don't want neither one of them to get no shot before me. Y'all gotta see me. What's good? Why Virgil Ortiz ain't calling out Boots? Why Boots ain't calling out Virgil Ortiz? Gary Antoine Russell. Now, I know people keep bringing up Gary Antoine Russell, and I think he's a great athlete. I think he's a very skilled fighter. But is he fighting at 140 or 147? I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because is he even fighting at 47? Is Russell fighting at 147? So why are we talking about Gary Antoine Russell? By the time he move up, Boo's gonna been at 154. The fuck? What are we talking about Gary Antoine Russell for? Think he's a really good fighter, but come on, bro. We talking about the big boys right now, man. What are you talking about? They say he beat Boots in the amateurs, man. That shit don't mean nothing. Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney in the amateurs, and I think Devin Haney is smoking. That shit don't mean nothing, man. Danny Garcia beat Terence Crawford in the amateurs. I think Terence Crawford smokes him. That shit means nothing, bro. It means absolutely nothing. So, but again, what I'm saying, though, is why these dudes, like, if I'm any one of these dudes, bro, I'm like, I need my opportunity right now. I need, like, what's up? Why we not hearing Jaron Ennis call out Ortiz? I think Jaron Ennis a smoke Virgil Ortiz. And I'm from Texas, man. I'm from the DFW. I fuck with Virgil Ortiz. Shout out to Grand Prairie. Yeah, I fuck with him. Incredible fighter. Very skilled. And I see him getting better. I saw improve, even though he got hurt versus Mean Machine, I saw improvement in that fight. I saw him using the jab, putting that bitch out there stiff and accurate and effective. I saw him come back from adversity and show me something, show me that dog. Virgil Ortiz showed me a lot of shit in that Mean Machine fight. I know he ready for the smoke. But I think Jaron Boots in a great fight, I think Jaron Boots Ennis is smoking. But why I'm not hearing Boots go crazy, go after Virgil Ortiz crazy, why am I not seeing this energy from Boots Ennis going after Ortiz? Why am I not seeing this energy from Ortiz going after Boots? If I'm coming up and I got these motherfuckers close to me in my lane, my colleagues, my peers and shit, and they both, everybody going after the same shit that I'm going after, man, I'm trying to knock these boys off. If we all going after the same thing, I'm trying to knock these motherfuckers off. Why it ain't no smoke between these guys? Everybody, ERROL Spence can only fight one dude at a time. Terence Crawford can only fight one dude at a time. And this motherfucker's already in line. It's motherfuckers that bring bigger paydays. We talking about pay-per-view fighters. We talking about pound for pound motherfuckers. This guy's already in line. If me, you, him, and him, we all going after the same shit, why the fuck I'm gonna try to bypass y'all and let y'all get to the spot before me? I'm trying to knock y'all off. That's what I'm not understanding. This is what I don't understand. Y'all, they talking about, oh, we wanna build the Boots and Ortiz fight. One of y'all fuck around and lose. And I don't think it's gonna be Boots. But if I'm Jaron Ennis, I want to beat him before anybody else beat him. If I'm Ennis, I want to beat Ortiz before Terence Crawford get to him, or before Sean Porter get to him, before Keith Thurman get to him. I want to beat him before anybody beat him. That's what I don't understand. Like, where the smoke is amongst the guys that's on your level. You gonna really let me know that you for real, that you really want the shit that you saying you want, if you trying to take out the motherfuckers in your area. How you gonna go abroad, but you ain't even handled the shit that you gotta handle domestically? The shit don't make no sense. The shit don't make no sense, man. Salute to the brother Dion Kennedy in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said AB versus Boots, perfect style matchup. AB never been stopped. I would love that. If AB was willing to get in there with that smoke, and I have no reason to believe that he wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, AB, you know, he'll fight anybody, and he has fought anybody. You know what I'm saying? But I would love that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Salute to the brother DSV and company in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said all these 147 prospects sitting around waiting for a payday, just like 160 through 175 boys waiting on Canelo. Big facts. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I don't understand this shit. I don't get it. Why Jaron Ennis and his team not on the phone with Ortiz and them boys trying to make a fight? Why they not on the phone with Oscar and them and DAZN trying to make some shit happen? Why Ortiz and them ain't on the phone trying to make the Ennis fight happen? Why Conor Ben ain't on the phone trying to fight Jaron Ennis? If I'm any one of them, salute to Showtime Sports in the building. I don't know if that's the real Showtime, but salute to y'all. It said Boots and Ortiz are cloud chasing the champions. Nah, they can't beat him. Said Boots and Ortiz are cloud chasing the champions for fights that they know are impossible to make. Salute to the brother Mike Rhyme in the building. What's good? But yeah, like, what I don't understand, bro, is like, if you got these dudes that's in your reason, in your same lane, and they trying to get the same thing you trying to get, why you not calling for them to knock them off so you can show that you belong in there with the ERROL Spences and the Terence Crawfords and the Ortiz-Ennis, man? Come on now. This shit don't make no sense to me. Salute to the brother Ricky Williams in the building, man. What's good? Good to have you here. He said they trying to disregard the pecking order. Big facts. And that don't make no sense to me. Like I said, I want to see The best fight the best, period. If Boots work his way to get into a mandatory position, may the best man win. Same thing for Virgil Ortiz. Same thing for anybody else who done put the work in to get to that position. But you'll be a damn fool if you think ERROL Spence or Terence Crawford is going to be actively trying to go fight this dude for what? When they can be unified, when they can be fighting each other for a big ass payday for unifications and undisputeds and shit. Why the fuck I'm gonna go fight Jaron Ennis and he just fought on the undercard of Jamal James? Like, come on now. We gotta be real, bruh. Come on now. Just keep it 100, bruh. Grindworks Entertainment in the building. Salute. See, that's why I wish we had some type of tournament in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? We need some type of commissioner in this motherfucker that make people like match motherfuckers up and shit. You feel me? This shit, that's what this shit really supposed to look like, but it'll get too real then. We know that's wishful thinking. It'll get too real then. You know? But look, I think, oh man, I'm proud of all these young guys putting that work in and doing their thing, bro. Said boxing need a Roger Goodell. Facts. We need a Roger Goodell, bro. We need a Adam Silver. We need somebody this month. We need a goddamn Dana White. We need somebody in this motherfucker that's gonna make some shit happen. That's gonna say, look, you fight him and you look, this y'all date, y'all fight. Give a fuck what you thought it was. This the date, this the location. You got this long to get ready. Period. If you a champion, either you fighting or we taking your motherfucking belt. Period. That's what boxing need, bro. That way we ain't got to deal with all this bullshit. Because look, if we had a tournament like the one that we're thinking of, this question that I'm asking about why Boots and Ortiz ain't even talking about fighting each other, that shit wouldn't even be a question. Because they would have been done cross paths already. If they really like that, and I believe they are really like that. I'm not saying they not. I'm not saying Boots ain't ready. I'm not saying Ortiz ain't ready. I think they ready for all the smoke. But you ain't finna turn around and call Crawford and Spence ducks. You can't even call Sean Porter no duck, even though Sean Porter came out and said he too much. Sean Porter already fought everybody. Sean Porter done fought more elite fighters than anybody at welterweight right now. And he's about to fight Terence Crawford on November 20th. So if Sean Porter say, look, you know, I'm focused on this, I'm not finna call Sean Porter no duck. What the fuck was Sean Porter gain from fighting Boots-Ennis right now? Tell me, what do Sean Porter get out of fighting Boots-Ennis right now? He's fighting Terence Crawford November 20th. Salute to the brother Dion Kennedy back in that super chat one more time. He said Ugas versus Boots will happen. He said if he beats Butayev. I would love that, bro. I want to see the Butayev fight. See, I like the fact that Blair had called out Ennis at the end after his fight. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit happen. You know, get in there with Butayev. Get in there with old boy. You know, if you and Ortiz don't want to fight for whatever reason, get in there with one of them. You know, if Boots really trying to solidify a mandatory position, he need to be trying to fight these guys. And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he's not. But what I'm saying is that he not putting no pressure on them. You applying pressure to the wrong motherfuckers. Boots-Ennis, and if your team watching, hey, salute to y'all. Fuck with y'all, man. Shout out to Bozzy Ennis, man. Coach Ennis, Boots' dad. You know what I'm saying? Post me on the Instagram. I salute him. I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? 100. But if y'all watching this, or if y'all get around to watching this shit, look, the same way y'all putting pressure on, y'all calling for the top guys, that sound good. That's what everybody do. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody do that. Oh, I want the top guys. I want the champions. And yeah, but if you really trying to get there, put that pressure on these motherfuckers that's actually gonna get you there. The guys that's ranked ahead of you in these sanctioning bodies. The guys that if you beat them, then you become mandatory. The guys that put you in title eliminators. Call them out if you really want a shot. Because just shooting from half court and shit, that shit ain't gonna help you. Motherfuckers shooting from full court and shit talking about I want to fight ERROL Spence right now. Bro, that shit ain't going in. You not even finna hit the rim. But what you can do is step in that mid-range and take you a high percentage shot. That's what you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can call out them guys that's right there, that's ranked either right above you or right below you, that's going to up your ranking and shit. That's what you need to be doing. If you really trying to get a shot. Or you just trying to make headlines. If all you trying to do is just make headlines, then yeah, keep on calling out Spence. Keep on calling out Terence Crawford. If you just want headlines. But if you really want to get in position, fight the guys that's going to get you in position. That's what Devin Haney did. That's why Devin Haney became the mandatory for the WBC versus Lomachenko. Because he fought, it was really supposed to be a tournament, but motherfuckers like Telefimo Lopez, he didn't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Guys didn't want to compete. Ryan Garcia, he didn't want to compete in the tournament. So what Devin Haney do? He fought all these dudes that y'all was saying was nobodies. He fought their ass. You know what I'm saying? And he kept climbing and got to the range till he got to that #1 mandatory position. And Lomachenko was faced with a crossroad decision. Either I'm going to fight this dude or I'm going to let my belt go. That's what Devin Haney did. So if you really trying to get it, if you really trying to get that smoke, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Salute to the brother Ricky Williams in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said boxing needs fighters to respect the game. Big facts. Gotta respect the game. You gotta respect the game. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect the game. Because if you don't respect the game, you gonna get played. You can't play the game if you don't respect it. You gonna get played. If you don't respect the game, you can't even play the game. You gonna get played by the game, man. You gotta respect the game. You got to know how this shit really goes so you can know what you need to do to make the shit happen that you want to make happen. Salute to the brother Phil J508 back in that super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, my brother. He said when Earl wanted to fight the top guys, he pulled up face to face to each of them, was very vocal and fought his way up. Big facts. Let's talk about that. Hold on, let me get my brother right here. Salute to my brother J Harris 2 Real back in that super chat coming through and showing love. Again, he said it's the Ortiz fans who don't want the fight. Yeah, big facts, because I had posted a comment on Boots highlights. Motherfuckers, the whole comment thread was telling me why they shouldn't fight. I'm like, what the fuck? But he said it's the Ortiz fans who don't want the fight. Ortiz getting a better name fighters because he appears more beatable. Boots watching everybody. Big facts. That's big facts. He getting those fights because he looks more beatable. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about how nobody was lining up to fight ERROL Spence when he was coming up. Nobody was lining up to fight ERROL Spence. ERROL Spence was pulling up on motherfuckers and they had to smell his cologne. They were like, what's that? Oh, that must be Earl. You dig what I'm saying? He had to pull up on boys in a physical form and let them know what the fuck going on. So when he couldn't get Keith Thurman in the ring, what'd he do? He said, all right, I'm going to go the IBF route. He said, just like Jaron Ennis just said on the post-fight interview, he said, all right, I'm ranked #3. That's the highest I'm ranked in the IBF, so I'm going to go that route. Okay, bet. That's what you supposed to do. But ERROL Spence didn't just say I'm going to do that. He actually did that shit. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all remember, I forget what the dude named. ERROL Spence had fought everybody that he could possibly fight to get to that #1 spot to fight Kell Brook. He fought everybody that he had to fight to get there. And remember, it came into a point in time, I forget this dude name. He was an undefeated. It wasn't Aegis Kavalauskas, but it was some other dude named, he was an undefeated dude from overseas. They was supposed to do a title eliminator. They was supposed to do a title eliminator, and this motherfucker didn't want to fight Earl. So Earl he ended up having to fight Leonard Bundu because he was the next guy up. You had guys that was next in line ahead of Errol Spence for a title eliminator to fight Kell Brook. He was supposed to fight this dude to get in position to fight Kell Brook. Y'all remember when Earl fought Leonard Bundu? What'd he say after the fight? Strap me up. Strap me up, because he knew after that win, that put him in position. He knew he had a title shot coming to him. That's why he said, strap me up. He knew what the fuck was going on. He put the work in to get there. He wasn't out here talking about, I want, he say I want Floyd, or I want Keith Thurman, I want Danny Garcia, I want Sean Porter, I want all these dudes. But what he doing though? He putting the work in, and he actually fighting the dudes that's gonna put him in position to get to where he trying to go. All I'm saying, bro, classic, hey, classic Shag Earl, big facts. All I'm saying, bro, is I want to see all these dudes fight. But we got to make it got to be realistic. What I don't understand is like how these prospects get to just sit around and be prospects. You can't tell me that Virgil Ortiz ready to fight Terence Crawford, but he not ready to fight Jaron Ennis. I got people telling me because Virgil Ortiz is ranked #1 in the WBC that Errol Spence is ducking Virgil Ortiz. People really telling me Virgil Ortiz ducking. No, people really telling me that Errol Spence is ducking Virgil Ortiz because he's #1 in the WBC and Earl trying to unify. Ain't no mandatory. He just #1 contender. But he ain't mandated. It ain't no mandatory. So my point is, how you gonna tell me that Virgil Ortiz is ready for Errol Spence, Virgil Ortiz is ready for Terence Crawford, but he not ready for Jaron Ennis? Can anybody make that make sense to me? How you ready for the niggas, how you ready for the motherfuckers that's on top, but you ain't ready for the dude that's on your same level? That shit don't even make sense. Can somebody please explain this to me? Please explain this to me. How is Virgil Ortiz ready for Terence Crawford and he ready for Errol Spence, but he not ready for Jaron Ennis? I need somebody to explain this shit, bro. He said the hood came out. Man, I'm trying to clean my words up, man. Y'all know I'm always say that motherfucker, though. But look, I need to know. Somebody got to explain this shit to me, bro. How Boots is ready for Errol Spence and he ready for Terence Crawford, but he not ready for Virgil Ortiz? I don't understand. Somebody in here said, well, Jaron Ennis on another level. That's why. Well, shit. Go whoop his ass and show me he on another level then. Show me that. How you gonna say you trying to let the Ortiz fight marinate? Marinate into what? Ain't no guarantee either one of you motherfuckers is gonna be undefeated when you get to that point in your career. I'll tell you this. Boots and Spence, that fight will most likely happen at 154 if we being real. You know what I'm saying? But you could probably make it happen faster if you go fight the dudes that you're supposed to fight. And if they not trying to get in the ring with you, which I believe they're not. That's why I made The downside to Jaron Ennis part 1 and part 2, because a lot of motherfuckers is ducking Jaron Ennis. That's why Virgil Ortiz is getting better fights, because he appears to be more beatable. They look at Ennis and they like, hell no, ain't no way I'm getting in there with that dude. Absolutely not. But the same way you putting that pressure on the guys who are out of your reach, because Ennis, Spence and Crawford, quite frankly, they're out of your reach, bro. Until you become mandatory. You can put the work in and get it within their reach, but that might take some time. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You're 24 years old, you know. Anything can happen within the next year or so. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? But quite frankly, those dudes are out of your reach. That don't mean you shouldn't call them out. I want Ennis to continue to call out the top guys. But while you at it, throw in the guys that's actually realistic, that's going to get you to that spot. Don't just call out the motherfuckers who we know not about to fight you right now. Call out the people who you can actually fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all how I see this shit happening. For all the people that want to see Ennis versus Spence. If the shit fall how it's supposed to, where we get Spence versus Ugas next, and then we get the winner out of Terence Crawford and Sean Porter fight the winner out of Spence and Ugas for undisputed. That's the best case scenario. Errol Spence moves up to 154. And let's say he goes up there, he wins the title, defends it. Jaron Ennis wins a title at 147. All the belts will be relinquished and open to be fought for. He wins the title, maybe becomes unified, and then goes up to 154, his very first fight versus Errol Spence Jr. Huge mega fight. That's assuming that Errol Spence beats Crawford in an undisputed match. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things that got to fall in place for that shit to happen. It's a lot of things that got to fall in place. For us to get Spence and Ennis before 154, it's a lot of shit that got to happen. And it's highly unlikely. So for everybody that's pushing for that fight right now, it's just not realistic. Now, Crawford, I really don't see Crawford going up to 154. I think Crawford would actually, I think we might get a Crawford versus Ortiz fight at some point in time. I think that might happen, which is great. I'm fine with that. I'm not about to force Terence Crawford to fight Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight, yes. But, I mean, at the same time, like, the shit got to line up. If I haven't even seen Spence and Crawford yet, you think I'm finna push for Boots versus Crawford? Now, if he become mandatory, that's different. Keep in mind. Now, we still, you know, it's still within regulation. That's different. But I'm just saying, why these dudes got better options out there, I'm not finna put no stipulation on them to fight a dude who just fought on the undercard as Jamal James. Salute to the brother Jay Harris, too real, back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, people just rather Ortiz lose to a champion so they can use the he wasn't ready excuse. The same excuse they use with Canelo and Floyd. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I already see what type of game they running. You know, because when I asked the Virgil Ortiz fans, and in which I am one of those as well, you know, I am a fan of Virgil Ortiz. I think he's a really good fighter, man. Very skilled. Bring a lot to the table. Action-packed, powerful, hand speed. And I told y'all, man, he's been improving. Every time I see Virgil Ortiz, he getting better. And that's one of the best compliments you can give a young fighter, that they improving every time you see him. One thing I hate is when I see young fighters and they not getting better. they still making the same mistakes time after time after time, and they not doing nothing to make no improvements. I see improvements in Virgil Ortiz. I see that in Jaron Ennis. That's why I'm so high on these dudes, and I look at them as the future of the sport. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, it's like, put them in there. If you think that Ennis is this and you think Ortiz is that, why they can't fight? Don't y'all think it's an easier fight to make? Don't y'all think Ennis versus Ortiz is an easier fight to make than Ortiz versus Crawford or Boots versus Spence? Don't y'all think that's an easier fight to make? Think about it. Ain't no money issue. Neither one of these dudes making no whole lot of money. Can anybody pull up Jaron Ennis' purse from his last fight? Pull up, if anybody can, you don't have to, but if anybody have those resources handy. If you could pull up Jaron Ennis' purse from his last fight and then pull up Virgil Ortiz's purse from his last fight. You can't tell me it's a money issue. To make Ortiz and Ennis, you can't tell me it's got something to do with money. It can't have nothing to do with money. So what's the reason that we can't get... I can think of plenty of reasons why Spence and Ennis ain't fighting right now. I can think of plenty of reasons why Crawford and Ennis ain't gonna fight right now. But I can't think of no reasons why Ennis and Virgil Ortiz ain't fighting. Said no way Ortiz versus Ennis will happen because they don't want to stop his career short. Shit, they trying to put him in there with Terence Crawford? Y'all think Ortiz can beat Terence Crawford? Y'all think Virgil Ortiz can beat Terence Crawford? Man, y'all tripping, man. Hell no. Boy, y'all out y'all damn mind if y'all think Ortiz gonna beat Terence Crawford. So if you ain't trying to get his career cut short, then why would you put him in there with Crawford? He gonna lose either way. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm Virgil Ortiz like right now, I'd rather fight Boots. Now, I mean, logically thinking, you gonna get paid more if you fight Crawford. I understand that. You fighting an undisputed guy, you fighting a pound for pound guy. So I get that. So I mean, let's not be naive. I understand that, but I'm just saying, as far as like your chances of winning though, I think you lose to both of them, but you have, in my opinion, you have a better chance at beating a relatively inexperienced guy as opposed to Terence Crawford. So if the reason why you don't want to put Ortiz in there with Boots is because you're trying to save his career, what you think Crawford gonna do to him? What you think ERROL Spence gonna do to him? See, this the shit that's not matching up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this the shit that's mind-boggling to me. This shit really ain't matching up. It's not matching up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to carry the one, but the one ain't motherfucking carrying. I'm trying to compute this shit, but it's just not making sense. Had to take a sip of that Oscar Valdez, man. Shit ain't making sense to me. That's why I really wanted to get on here and talk to y'all, man. Just, because I know y'all boxing. You feel me? I fuck with y'all heavy, man. Y'all know y'all shit. That's why I love getting on here talking this boxing with y'all. Because y'all know y'all shit. So I be having to come on here sometime, man, just to ask questions so y'all can help me get a better understanding of this shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? You trying to tell me that Virgil Ortiz, he's ready for ERROL Spence and he ready for Terence Crawford, but he not ready for Jaron Ennis. I don't understand. I don't get it. On the cool, a lot of these boys out here moving like Bob Arum. Boys out here moving like Bob Arum. You know how Bob Arum said he was quick to put Shakur in there with Jamel Herring. But shit, why we can't get Shakur versus Oscar Valdez? You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to put Boots in there with Earl and Terence Crawford right now. Why we can't get Boots versus Ortiz? Salute to the brother Anthony F in the building. What's good? He said because Shakur would beat the T out of Oscar. You know what I'm saying? But man, I am happy with where boxing is right now. I mean, in comparison to recent years, you know, we definitely have a lot of talent. There's some good fights lined up, you know. This month, shit, we about to see what Caleb Plant do this weekend, you know. We got Terence Crawford and Sean Porter, November 20th. I think that fight gonna be fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? That fight gonna be fight of the year. You dig what I'm saying? Both of them guys gonna be ready. You got Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz, man. We got some shit going on, man. I want to see these dudes mix it up. Bro. You know, people still ain't gave me no good reason, you know, why these young dudes can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Said Boost will school Ortiz, in my opinion. Yeah, man. I think Booster can go out there and put on a great performance versus Ortiz, you know, but I just want to see it. Said, do you think Porter can beat Crawford? I think he can, yeah. I'm giving Crawford the edge, you know, but I think Porter can definitely win. I think he can win. And I love when Porter get in these type of fights. You know, a lot of people give Sean Porter shit for losing in some big fights. You know, he lost to Kell Brook, lost to ERROL Spence, and he lost to Keith Thurman, all of which were extremely close fights. But they don't talk about him beating Danny Garcia. They don't talk about him beating Devin Alexander for the championship title. They don't talk about him beating Ortiz-Ennis. Yes, I felt like Sean Porter squeaked out that victory, you know. But I think for these type of fights, man, Sean Porter, he gonna get up for it. They don't talk about Sean Porter beating AB. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, Sean Porter, I think he gonna get up for this fight, and it's gonna be a real good fight, man. It's gonna be a real good fight. I'm really intrigued and anticipating to see like what type of Sean Porter come out, you know. Are we going to get that bulldoze and Sean Porter right off top, you know what I'm saying, off the dribble? Or is he going to mix it up a little bit? You know? I think that's going to be key to how that fight play out. What type of approach does Sean Porter take? That's going to be real key. And I'm interested to see shit, what type of approach Terence Crawford going to take. He might come out there and do something totally different. Everybody think he just gonna box and sit back and you know, be a counter puncher and just wait on Sean and let Sean do what he do. Shit, what if Bud go out there and walk forward? You know, what if Bud go out there and just come forward on Sean Porter and try to walk him down? You know, it's gonna be a good fight. Bud ain't never weathered a storm like Porter. I agree. That's what I'm looking at the most. I want to see, you know, how Bud look when shit get iffy in there. You know, when it get tough. Because, you know, Sean Porter going to be on him like a Tasmanian devil. He going to be on him like that dude on the honeycomb box. You know what I'm saying? He going to be on that motherfucker like Crash Bandicoot. So I want to see what Terence Crawford do when it get ugly in there. Salute to the brother, the soulmates in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, much love, my boy. Boots versus One Time. They need each other. Big facts. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. Said like Porter Crawford got him though. Said so he need to stop bullshitting and fight EJ. Yeah, man. We'll see what happened in that fight. You know, if Terence Crawford defeats Shawn Porter and hopefully ERROL Spence gets the Ugas fight, we'll see what happens with the whole WBA situation. Ugas is... Oh, I want to talk about this before we get out of here, too. I want to talk about this. In regard to the WBA and Ennis-Ortiz and ERROL Spence, I want to commend Ennis-Ortiz for how he's carrying himself throughout that situation. You know, he really standing up on all 10 toes and letting his voice be heard. You know, he's showing receipts, showing how he reaching out to these motherfuckers trying to make the ERROL Spence fight, you know, and, you know, talking about how, you know, he's worked his way to get to a position to be on this level. Man, I just came off the biggest win of my career, arguably got the biggest win out of all the guys at welterweight right now. Ennis-Ortiz could arguably say he got the biggest win with the Manny Pacquiao win. You know what I'm saying? Being an underdog and all that shit. So with him getting to this point, becoming a champion, you know, he's earned the right to fight ERROL Spence for unification. He's earned the right to be like, all right, man, I'm a champion now. There's another champion who wants to unify with me. I want that opportunity. And there shouldn't be no type of bullshit ass tournament for me to go fight some 16-0 Stanionis who went 12 rounds with Delorme, who Delorme just got stopped in 1 round by Jaron Ennis. You want me to go fight this guy? Like, come on now. And no disrespect to Stanionis. I think he decent. But I don't think Ugas need to fight him to prove nothing. He ain't gonna prove shit by beating Stanionis. What he gonna prove? Nothing. So, but my point I'm getting at is that the same way that Ugas is coming out and speaking up in regard to that situation, I want to see ERROL Spence do the same thing. I want to see ERROL Spence apply pressure on the WBA, come out and talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're going to do it behind closed doors, if it's paperwork that need to be filed, whatever it is, whatever the process is, I think ERROL Spence need to use his platform and use his voice and express how desperately he wants to defend and unify with Ennis-Ortiz. We need both of those guys on the same accord to make that shit happen. So that way, we can get the winner out of Terence Crawford and Shawn Porter and the winner out of Ennis-Ortiz and ERROL Spence for Undisputed. I did see ERROL Spence post that money talks, and that's dope. I like that. That let me know that shit, hopefully behind the scenes, he talking with Al, like, look, man, we got to make this happen. If they need some bread, hey, shoot them some bread so we can make this shit happen. You know, they got an old racist motherfucker over there in position trying to block fights. You know, he hating on ERROL Spence. He don't want Gary Shaw. You know, he don't want ERROL Spence to get the title. You know, same reason why he didn't want Manny Pacquiao to go into that ERROL Spence fight as a WBA champion, because he knew ERROL Spence was going to take that motherfucker up off of him. You dig what I'm saying? But I think Earl need to come out, use his platform, talk his shit, let everybody know, look, I want Ugas. And the WBA, they on that bullshit. Force their hand, bro. Do whatever you got to do. So that way we can get closer to Undisputed and go ahead and figure this shit on out. You know what I'm saying? We need to get this shit figured out, man. You know. But look, man, I'm finna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. I had a great time talking this boxing with y'all, man. Hey, salute to everybody who came through. Salute to everybody in the super chat who came through and showed love and showed support to the brand, the platform, the channel, man. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to everybody who commented in the regular chat, just interacting and engaging, man, and, you know, talking this good boxing. Appreciate everybody for liking the video. If you haven't liked the stream already, go ahead and like the stream, man. I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all evening and a great weekend. I might be back on tomorrow for Merlot Fridays. You know what I'm saying? I got some things to do. That's why I came on live today. because I had to go ahead and get this shit on up out. You know what I'm saying? But I might pull up on y'all tomorrow, so just stay tuned, man. Contender regime, boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.